Cyclone MMA. Cause tonight will be the night that I will fall for you over again. Don't make me change my mind. Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopes is going down. UFC 314 this Saturday. This one's tough, dude. This one's tough. This feels like when your dad fights your little brother, you know? When your little brother gets old enough, he gets into high school and he's like, I think I can take dad. And you're like, don't do it. He just starts fighting dad. That's what it feels like. Diego Lopes just came onto the scene in the last-minute replacement to fight Movsar Evloev. Fought his ass off, lost a decision, and since then he's been tearing the UFC on fire. He had a submission victory over Gavin Tucker, a knockout over Pat Sabatini, a knockout over Sodiq Yusuff, a decision over Dan Ige, and then a decision over Ortega where he knocked him out and woke him back up in 2 punches. Now he's jumping into the true deep end. He's kind of been in the deep end for a second here, but he's fighting Alexander Volkanovski. Who's going to win this fight? I don't know. Let's talk about it. Now, Volkanovski's had a weird point in his career. He's lost 3 out of his last 4 fights, but the dudes he's been fighting is Islam Makhachev. He lost a decision that a lot of you think he won. I thought he indeed lost. I thought Islam took the fight and won. A narrow, close decision. He then knocked out Yair Rodriguez. He got knocked out by Islam Makhachev, and they got knocked out by Ilia Topuria. And now he's fighting another dude who can crack and can submit you and can knock you out in Diego Lopes. I mean, if you look at the resumes, it's not even close. The wins that Volk has, 3 wins over Max Holloway, a win over Brian Ortega, beat Aldo, beat Mendez. Just a really, really, he's one of the greatest featherweights of all time. The real question is, where is he in regards to his own career? I would imagine he's at the tail end. He's 36. Like I said, lost 3 out of his last 4. The next question is, how great can Diego Lopes be? Ilia Topuria is leaving the division. He's no longer the champion after this Saturday. If Lopes gets the win, it's one of those questions. It's like, could he have beaten Ilia? Diego fights like the 12-year-old who's a little bit on the husky side, and there's only 1 chocolate bar left, and 5 people are competing for it. That's what he fights like. He just goes at it, dude. He's got his emo, shaved sides, like mullet haircut, and it's flopping around, and he's constantly touching his neck for some reason, and he's just throwing hooks and kicks, and he just goes for it, dude. He fights like a crackhead. And he's really... I can't believe how much power this guy produces. It's weird. His grappling's really good. But then there's Volkanovski, one of the greatest featherweights of all time. I think this fight... This is a weird comparison. And a lot of you are going to hate this and be like, you're a fucking idiot for saying that. I'm disliking this video. This fight's going to play out like Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz. That style matchup, where you got the guy with a lot of power who can crack, but you get into the later rounds and he's exhausted. And then you got the other guy who's like, I don't want to say he's incredibly durable because he's got knocked down in his last 2 fights, but history's shown that before that he's been durable. But basically the guy who's like, my whole argument just fell apart. I was going to say a technician, but Nate Diaz isn't really a technician. It's not like that at all, guys. I was joking. But here's my analysis of the fight. You got Diego Lopes, who in the first 2 rounds is going to be fucking dangerous. If he drops Volk, he could take his back and take his neck, or he could just keep wailing on him. I think in the later rounds of the fight, though, I think he's going to, the 3rd, 4th, 5th round, that's where Volkanovski is going to shine. I think if Volk can get there, he's on his way to a decision victory or even a knockout of his own. But the chin issues are questionable for Volkanovski. The way I see this playing out is Diego Lopes being a motherfucker in the 1st round. And in the 2nd round, it's a little closer. And in the 3rd round, Volk takes over. And in the 4th and 5th, he gets a finish. One of those 2 rounds. That's how I see it. I think Volk gets the belt back. And then the featherweight division's just in a really weird spot. Because it's like, hey, I'm the champion, but I just lost to that guy who just went up a weight class. It's gonna be an awkward situation. That's my prediction. I love both of these dudes. I love Diego Lopes so much. Every fight I watch him in, I root for him. And I've grown to really like Volkanovski too. I was always a salty Max Holloway fanboy. But seeing Volkanovski get knocked out by Islam and Ilya was really rough for me. That was tough. I like Volk. He's a good dude. It's going to be a hard one to watch. It's going to be an entertaining one. But yeah, I lean Volkanovski winning this. I think, was he an underdog? Is he an underdog or favorite? Let's see this. Lopes versus Volkanovski odds. It seems like a lot of people are writing Volk off, but I think he's got it. Yeah, he's a slight favorite. He's a minus 170 favorite. Whoa, it's closer in some. Let's look at FanDuel. FanDuel, Volk's a minus 125 fave. Diego Lopes still minus money, minus 102. It's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a great fight. I take Volk. I think he's going to do it. I don't know how much left he's got in the tank, though. There's some killers coming in that 145-pound division. John Silva. Fucking, who else is coming? Look at these rankings. Lerone Murphy just had a boring decision, but is on his way up. There's some killers. They're coming. They are coming. But yep, taking Volkanovski. He's going to win by knockout. I have a full video on UFC 314 picks coming up here, so stay tuned for that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe below. Lots more MMA content coming soon. Peace out, y'all.